stop using back belts. There's a very good chance you don't need it. There are some people in some scenarios that may need to use it. But for most people going to the gym, they don't need it. What they really need is to develop their own natural back belt. And if you do want to develop your own natural back belt, then please do click the link below and you'll go through to my online gym. It's not launched yet, but it's launching in early 2022. So if you click the link in the description, you'll get updated when it's launching, and then you can get started with the workouts that are all designed for core strength, core stability, core endurance, core speed strength, with a mixture of body weight and equipment workouts. It's for beginners, intermediates and advanced. Beginners start with a 12-week program to get them up to the intermediate and advanced level. If you're already there, then you can go straight into the harder workouts. So if that sounds like something for you, click down in the link in the description. So what is this natural back belt that I'm talking about? Well, what you can see on the screen here is the posterior view of a body. And we've got a big white sort of sheath across the middle of the back, all the way down into the pelvis, but all the way up into the sort of thoracic spine area. Now, this is known as the lumbodorsal fascia, or lumbodorsal fascia, I should say, or thoracolumbar fascia. This fascia has bony attachments on the tips of the spine's processes. So basically, all the way down the back of the spine, it's attached to. So this is its means of creating a degree of stability. It also has them on the spinous processes, on the posterior superior iliac spines, which are these two bony protrusions here of the pelvis. So this is where it's attaching, and what it's doing, it's force transmission and completing the hoop around the abdomen. So if we take a bird's eye view, that will be the back of the spine. So this is the lumbodorsal fascia or thoracolumbar fascia, and then on the front is the abdominal fascia. I'll just call it AF, abdominal fascia. It's essentially one thing, but for the purposes of this, I'm going to talk about it as two among the other muscles as well. So we're talking about, this is our natural back belt, because it does exactly the same as what a back belt does. The difference is people who wear a back belt are basically saying my core isn't strong enough to lift this weight, therefore I need something outside to do it for me. All I'm saying is take that back belt off and develop your core so it is strong enough to lift that weight. So talking about the muscles next, let's get to it. So not only have we got the fascia, so on this image, which isn't the greatest image, you can see all these sort of white, which I'm now drawing over in orange. These are all parts of the fascia, of the lumbodorsal fascia. Obviously, these are the inside parts. This here is sort of like that outside bit that you could see on the previous slide. But muscles that we've got here, transverse abdominis, internal obliques. So transverse abdominis is here, internal obliques is the layer just outside it, and you've obviously got that on both sides. So again, these muscles within that fascia are creating this natural back belt. They obtain their posterior attachments to the fascia. So you can see just here, this is where they attach, and it's using that fascia, which is where they attach. As does the latissimus dorsi, which we'll talk about in the next slide. The fascia forms compartments around the lumbar extensors and acts like nature's back belt. So you can see here, these are the lumbar extensors, all in here, which all again take fibers of the fascia, which again create that natural back belt around it. So you've kind of got compression around it here, around each individual muscle. You've got it around sort of the lower back posterior area, and then you've got the full sort of encasement all the way around as well. So you've kind of got compartments within compartments. What we'll do now is we'll look a little bit deeper at the lats and the glutes and how it all comes together. So we'll try and complete all the set now. So what we've got is we've got the lats at the top, moving in that direction. We could say we've got the glutes at the bottom, moving in this direction. And then we've got the other lat going in that direction. So one of the first parts of this is the glutes and the lats and what they're doing. So when we activate the lats, it's pulling it up like so. When we activate the glutes, it's pulling it down like so. If we were to get a piece of cloth or a towel and sort of put it in a diamond shape and then pull each side from each other, it becomes very taut. So we get stability from those muscles working first of all. What we've then got are the abdominals, which is where the abdominal wall is, which is made up of the abdominal fascia, which is essentially the same material, just continued around the front. And we give it a different name because for whatever reason we've decided to break it up into a front compartment, abdominal fascia, and a back compartment, thoracolumbar fascia. So the abdominal wall and lats forces add tension to the fascia. So we're engaging the abdominals at the front, we're engaging the lats at the back, along with the glutes. We're also getting transverse abdominis, internal obliques and external obliques. Stiffness to the spine to prevent specific types of unstable behavior and tissue damage. So this is what is creating that stability and that natural back belt. So if we can activate rectus abdominis, transverse abdominis, internal oblique, external oblique, we are essentially wrapping around the front of the torso. If we can engage lats, if we can engage glutes, we are engaging the back. What will then happen is QL will fire, and then the lumbar extensors will fire to bring stability around the spine and holding all of that in place. And as I mentioned at the start of this video, the people that wear back belts probably don't need it, but all they are saying is that my torso is not strong enough to lift this weight, therefore I need something else to do it. Again, all I am saying is instead of putting that back belt on, why don't you develop your torso in a way that it can hold it itself? If you have back pain, you're going to be more effective sorting out the problem and then again rebuilding your torso in that way. If you do have back pain, again click the other link in the description and you can sign up for a lower back pain rehabilitation consultation where you will work with me one-to-one online to go through how to rehab your lower back. So we'll start to build a plan that you need to put in place to rebuild your lower back. So again, if any of that sounds helpful, the online gym, which is coming out in 2022, get registered. Or if you need help with back pain, then again, get signed up for an online consultation. So many thanks for watching. My name is Chris. Hopefully this has been helpful. Hopefully it's given you some better insight into how your anatomy is working and then therefore how to then go and train it and exercise it. So many thanks for watching. My name is Chris from Christopher Hall Training. I'll speak to you in the next tutorial.